You're watching Past the Wire TV.
All right, welcome in to Past the Wire TV. I am Jim Gazzale alongside Charles Trent. Charles, good to see you again. How's Belmont week been treating you?
I just can't wait. Actually, it's getting a little exciting here. And you know what? What a fantastic 4 race cards. All days, every day is great.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. There's a buzz up here in and around town, as there has been really for the better part of the last week and a half, really. So looking forward to everything getting underway here up at the spa. Let's cover the late pick 4 on Friday. We've got 4 pretty competitive fields, I feel like. I've got a couple of strong opinions. I'm sure you do as well. So let's kick it off with race number 9, the Intercontinental, going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Who did you lean towards here, Charles?
Well, in this race, I have to admit it's pretty tough overall, you know, especially when you're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf, as you well know. Speed. But what kind of rain are we going to have is the first question, I think. But there's a couple of horses that has handled a turf, and there's the one I really like has even handled a yielding turf. So I think this race overall, I think it's going to go towards 1 or 2 horses, in my opinion. My top pick is the 6 horse in this race, which is, let me see, get here.
Roses for Deborah.
Yeah, Roses for Deborah.
Yeah.
This horse is my top pick overall. And let me get this going here. I'm going to open it up a little bit better for you. There we go. Which right here, the 6, Roses for Deborah. If you look at this last race, this horse, closed very, very well with IRAD aboard. And we got some Race Lens notes in case some of the people out there has not seen Race Lens yet. I usually do a show once a week with Race Lens, and they have a lot of tools. Jim, here, I believe you're starting to play with this a little bit more.
Yeah.
And using some of these tools. One of them is the angles. This horse ships into the track and wins on multiple circuits, and the success rate score is a 4.4, which is excellent. And the horse won last time as a favorite. Comes back, that's another success score of a 6.1, which is excellent on itself. That's why one of the reasons I like this horse. Last time out, did fantastic. Could handle a grade 3. Like I said, right here is a yielding track. Finished 3rd, but it can handle the yielding track. Could handle a good track. It's won on good tracks. So that's my opinion on the first race, which is race 9 for the pick 4. I do like the 6 a lot. Is my top choice. And I have to admit, there's a couple others down there for exactas I would probably like. The 10, the 8, and the 1 would probably be the other ones for exactas and stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty much aligned with you with that 1, 6, 8, 10. The only sort of hurdle I see with Roses for Deborah, she's going to be 6 to 5, on the morning line. I imagine we're going to get very close to that. So, the question becomes, if it's not her, then where else might you go? I think Love Reigns is sitting on a nice forward move. The one Run for the Hills I liked as well. And to your point about that yielding turf, the one here for Mark Cassie, finished third, beaten only a half length on a yielding turf course at Churchill Downs last time.
Yeah.
And given the amount of rain that is expected on Thursday, I'd have to assume that there'll be a little bit of give in the ground. But coming off that last race, which was a career best, I think if you're looking to beat Roses for Deborah, I would look at that one Run for the Hills, the 8 Gal in a Rush, and who's 2 for 1 or 1 for 2, I should say, at Saratoga, and then the 10 Love Reigns in that 9th race.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think those are the 3 horses that could upset the 6. And it's all because of all the reasons you just said. Like you said, they can handle the off-going when it comes to the turf. And it looks like they're in pretty good form themselves also. So,
yeah,
to top it off.
Yeah. All right, race 10. We have the Chad Brown Stakes, the Just a Game. He's got 5 of the 7 runners in here, and they all seem to be the top 5 most likeliest winners. In my opinion, I think you have a horse in Coppice that just missed to Chili Flag last time in that Distaff Turf Mile on Kentucky Derby Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take her Coppice to get the job done this time, and kind of turn the tables on Chili Flag, who just beat her by a neck last time at Churchill Downs. So Coppice for Chad Brown and Juddmonte is going to be my top pick and a likely single in this sequence in race 10 for me.
Wow. I thought this race, myself personally, it's a Chad Brown race, like you just said in the beginning there. I'm leaning towards the 7 White Beam a little bit. I think it's a tight race, super tight. So I'm leaning with this horse. This horse will sit very close to the pace, as you can see in the last couple of times she has ran. Pratt is aboard. The race angles here, it was a beaten favorite and a jockey switch now for this horse, and that's a success score of a 5.9. And when it comes to race lengths, which is a very good deal there. And you know what? I think it's so wide open. I'm even saying that it's possible the one could even go in there and mix up Chad Brown's chances of winning this race. Has a shot here, just the way it's setting up. I think this horse even has a shot in this race itself. The way it could sit pretty close to the pace. But I have to agree with you with the 4. She's definitely one of them to definitely have to beat. But then again, once again, that's a Chad Brown. You got to beat all of them, apparently. So those are my top 3. Will the 3 even do some damage? Probably, maybe so. But I'm looking for the Chad Brown's probably most likely longest shot. Maybe, I don't know. White Beam is to do some action here.
Yeah, I guess to positive on White Beam is just cutting back to that mile distance off that last effort, going a mile and a 16th. Where she just missed. perhaps this mile is right in her wheelhouse. It seems like her best races have come at that distance. So we'll see. I feel like, you can't take them all. Mission of Joy is intriguing as well. And I think certainly, probably fits in this field. But at the same time, she was pretty well beaten. In that distaff turf mile last time, and she was wide a lot of the way, but just kind of didn't have the gusto down the stretch when the two others did. So I'm gonna be on Coppice here, and kind of plant my flag, I think.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. And when you're playing a pick 4, pick 5, whatnot, sometimes you're just going to have to either pick one and go for it, or you have to hit the all button. But when it's one of these type of races, when Chad Brown's in there, everyone's going to be betting all the Chad Brown horses. So are you going to get value on any of the Chad Brown's horses, is the question. I don't think you're going to get a big price on any of them overall. So it's probably better to make a statement like you just said and just stick with one. For me, I'm having a little bit of a hard time in that race. I think at least 3 horses could win this race, but I would probably have to narrow it down to. I would have to agree with you. Just make up your mind and go for it.
Yeah, right. All right. The 11th race on Friday, the New York Stakes. An absolutely loaded field. We've got 13 horses in here, and this is as competitive a race as we'll most likely see over the entire weekend. I think for me, English Rose is the standout. Would lean towards just going all in on her, but I will add that the 4 Aspen Grove, the 6 Fev Rover, and also that 5 American Sonia were ones that caught my attention as well. But English Rose to me is definitely the horse to beat in my view.
This is where I'm going to plant my flag. I love the 2. I love English Rose in this race. For me, of all the races, for sure, this is my single. I just think this race is setting up for this horse 100%. That last time out was phenomenal. A little trouble down the lane, kind of got a little blocked here and there, but I mean, that's horse racing anyway. But Buick on the horse, Appleby, what a great combo. And the race lens angles here, hot trainer in the last 30 days. Look at this. I mean, you look at Appleby in the last 30 days, 33% wins, a plus 1% on the ROI, which is, everybody bets Appleby horses. So that's phenomenal, really, right there, that number. And look at it in the money, 78% of the time. Jeez. That's almost as close as you're going to get to a guaranteed thing to hit them in the board on the board, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, that's a big number for in the money. But anyway, going back to it, I just think this horse is a standout in this whole race. I agree with you. There's other nice horses in this race. I personally like as my for exotics is the one horse a little bit. For exotics, the 4, like you mentioned, I think this horse has definitely a shot at some of the exotics. And look at it, 20-1. You definitely got to, if you're going to play some exactas or trifectas, you should probably toss this horse in there, and you probably pick up a good price. But I think it's going to be tough to beat the 2 English Rose.
Yeah, I agree. just in defense of this Aspen Grove, the 4, what I like is in the last 2 races is going a mile and an eighth over a yielding turf. Just the late pace figure on the Brisnet was a 109, which is excellent. So I think you kind of have to look at it 2 ways, right? If you think English Rose is just going to go out there and take them all the way around, which is certainly possible. She's seems to be, the early pace setter in the race. Perhaps if somebody challenges her a little bit, it could set up nicely for a horse like Aspen Grove that really put forth a big late pace figure last time. So that's why Aspen Grove was a bit interesting to me in here, assuming that this English Rose is just going to take a boatload of money.
Probably will take a boatload of money, but I don't know. I still don't think it's going to be super low. I think we have a chance of getting 2-1, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll take that every day of the week. I just think she's definitely a standout, 100% out of all 4 races that we're going to handicap. I think she's the most standout.
Yeah. All right. The Acorn Stakes, closing out Friday's card, the return of Torpedo Anna, the Kentucky Oaks winner, which by all accounts, Ken McPeak is still incredibly high on. And then on top of that, you've got Just FYI, who finished second in the Oaks. You've got Regulatory Risk, who finished, third in the Oaks. Yep. And Gunsong, who won the Black Eyed Susan the day before Preakness at Pimlico. So, yeah, I mean, Torpedo Anna is the standout, but I think this field is a little bit more competitive than just penciling in Torpedo Anna as the winner and moving on. Where did you land and how did you see it?
Yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me the question 2 weeks ago, what I thought about this race, Torpedo Anna going into this race, I'd say she's a single lock, everything. But now that everybody's still going back in the race that are very tough, all the horses that you mentioned, I don't think she's a super standout. She's still my top pick, but I don't think it's an easy way to go for her. Just like I said, Just FYI, which finished second behind her in that big Kentucky Oaks race that she ran. I mean, FYI she had an excellent race herself. I mean, she just got behind the hot Torpedo Anna. That's all. So I think this horse is definitely a horse that you got to watch out for. And then, like you said, the 7 Regulator Risk, another one, did not shame their connections. She ran a really good race in that Oaks. So yeah, it's not an easy slam dunk for her in this race. I even think this horse, My Main Squeeze, has a shot at some of the exotics. Michael Maker's been doing very well of late, more or less at Churchill Downs, but still he's been doing really good. And I think this horse could even pick up a third or possibly even a second in this race. But right now, my top pick will be the 9, Torpedo Anna, but I have to put a couple of horses with her, the 4, the 7, and possibly even the 5.
Yeah, I think my top choice in here would be Just FYI. I was on her in the Oaks, and I don't think she lost anything in defeat in there, and I think she is able to turn the tables on Torpedo Anna, which over which I think we can assume is going to be a dry, fast track come Friday evening up here in Saratoga. So I'm going to take Just FYI as my top pick there. And then I'll also use Gun Song and Leslie's Rose as well on my pick 4 ticket. I'm gonna get cute and leave Torpedo Anna off and try and beat her at that short of a price. I think this field is far more competitive than people think, and I'm gonna try my best to beat her in the nightcap on Friday and cash a nice ticket.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, I kind of when the PPs came out, it woke me up a little bit more than I originally thought that the race would come up. With Torpedo Anna, the way that monster race. But when you start breaking down the numbers and where everybody finished, and now how this race should develop, yeah, definitely 100%. I agree with you. It's a much, much, much tighter race than people would give it credit for.
All right. So how exactly do you plan on playing this? Do you have it written down?
No, I don't have. I mean, I have it written down in front of me, but to me, and race number 9, I really like the 6 and 10 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go with them for sure. But that's that first race. I mean, what do you think on this?
Yeah, I was going to play a ticket with the 1, 8, and 10, and leave Roses for Deborah out. Yeah.
Because I think she's definitely the horse to beat. Period.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Yeah, but I see your angle on that, because I think those 3 horses are my bottom 3 for exactas and even tries. I totally see those 3 having a shot at that, but I can see that 100%.
All right, so in race 10, and I know you liked a couple in there. Where do you think you're gonna
race
land?
10, I would definitely go with 3 horses, and the 7, the 4, and then I throw a little bit of a price to 1, just to try to get a price in there, more or less. But I think we all agree already that Chad Brown holds all the cards, literally. But where do you stop at taking them? So I would just go, those for sure, those 2 of Chad Brown's, the 4 and the 7. And if you want to throw a price in, maybe the 1, but that's what I'd do.
Yeah, I'm just going to single the 4 Coppice in there, and hope she runs a standout race and is able to kind of reverse that getting beaten by a neck like she did last time.
Right. Yeah.
Race 11, we talked a lot about English Rose, so I'm going to have that one along with the 4 Aspen Grove, the 5 American Sonia, and the 6 Fev Rover on my ticket. So 4 deep in race 11 for me.
I'm going just single right there. I'm going with the 2. It's just like, okay, that's what I'm doing right there. That's my single. That's my my go-to pretty much the whole day.
Nice. And then race 12, you liked Torpedo Anna. Were you planning on including anybody else there?
Yeah, I definitely have to throw in the 4. Definitely. And then possibly I was thinking about, I would have to look at this, maybe the 7 Regulatory Risk, looking at that a little bit. because of the price. Because the 12-1, got to throw a little bit of a price in there for my pick 4. And I think that's the horse with a price that could do some damage. But yeah, Torpedo Anna and FYI are my top 2 choices, definitely.
Yeah, the race lens seem to like regulatory risk a little bit too. Not as much as just FYI and Torpedo Anna, but according to this, it has the 3rd highest win odds at a little bit more than 15%.
Yeah, let's look at those charts here. First, let's start with race 12. I guess that's one we're on. You see it there? Yeah. Oh, did it go there? The switch? Hang on. Let me get it. I'll get it back. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it'll show the charts of how they see it. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
You got it now?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Over here, yeah, the 4, just FYI, 23% chance. Torpedo Anna, 22% right here. But if you show the true odds, it's another tool that it's really good on race day to go on watch. Look at this on Race Lens, the true odds, because and especially if like a certain horse will be scratched, it doesn't matter which one, it changes your true odds tremendously. Right now, the 7 regulatory risk should, adjusted true odds should be 7-1, and the morning line right now is 12-1. That's what they're saying is value,
Yeah, right.
And yeah, you're saying the win percentage is 12%. I think that's why I'm tossing. One of the reasons why I'm tossing this horse in the mix, because of the price for one thing. I do think the horse has a shot, does have the talent to, beat these others. So yeah, that's why I'm throwing her in.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you look back, I don't know. I was gonna make a comment about just looking at this pace projector, and it's showing her being potentially out in front here.
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to compare that with what I see in the Brisnet late pace figures, and to be honest, her late pace figures are not all that stellar. So I'd imagine she would get caught in a situation like this, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave her off, but perhaps at my own peril. I'm gonna go with the 3, 4, and 8 in that race 12, which is Leslie's Rose, Just FYI, and Gunsong. I thought Gunsong, a little bit of a weaker field in the Black Eyed Susan, but I thought she pretty much dominated them throughout, and I think she's got every chance to improve off of that effort. And at 12-1, we'll see what happens, but I'm going to get cute and leave Torpedo Anna off there. So I've got the 1, 8, 10 in race 9. The 4 in race 10. In race 11, I've got 2, 4, 5, and 6. And in race 12, I got 3, 4, and 8. And that for $1 is $36. So we'll see how that all shakes out on Friday.
Yeah, I would probably just, like I said, I'd probably go the 6, 10, and the 9. Then I'd go with 3 horses in that 10th, the 7, 1, 4. Then I'm singling in the 11th, the 2. Then I'm going to go for sure 9, 4, and then possibly tossing in the 7 there on my pick 4.
Nice. Any
you want to check out the charts here that Race Lens did for all 4 races?
Sure.
Okay, we'll just start with the 9th. Remember, it's on turf. Here's the true odds. So they're saying the 6 has a 22% chance. The 1, 20%. The 10 is at just slightly over 18%. Those are your top three. Basically, that's almost how I see it. I mean, the 1 is definitely has a shot in that race. The 1, if you really look up here at the true odds, 4-1. Look at the morning line, 12-1.
Yeah.
That's a serious value. And then, I mean, if they cut it even in half, even if it goes off at 6-1, it's still great odds for what would be true odds for that horse.
Right.
Then we'll go to the 10th race. And here we got the 1 is at almost 21%. The 3 is slightly over 18%, and the 4 is almost 16% chance of winning.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you had that 4 is your single.
Yeah.
And I said I like 7-1-4. So my 7 is going 14% basically. The true odds, the only one right now standing out is the 1. And we're almost in the same situation, 7-2, and morning line's 12-1.
So here's a question for you, Charles. So when we look at this chart page, it shows a different win percentage rate than when you're just looking at sort of that, I'll call it the overview page. Because I've got the overview page right now, where it just shows you the entries, and it's got Coppice at a 23.6% win probability. Followed by White Beam at 19.3. And on here, it has just the 1 Mission of Joy at 8.6%, whereas where we're looking at it right now, it's got it at 20.7. Do you know why that would be different?
I think here, when you do the display settings, when you go into display settings, is it this one? No.
I mean, perhaps our filters are perhaps our filters are a little bit different too, and depending on how we handicap.
Itself. You see, you could change all these filters itself that that popped up here. Late pace, I could take off late pace or running style, but I personally like all those in there. Here's this one. Here's another setting that they have. Now, see, this is not the setting I usually use. I usually put back here class day. I usually keep it at 3. Can you see that?
Yep.
And then I put speed up there to 2. The horse's form is like how they're going and everything. I think it's very important, so I keep it at 2. The distance. Now, I like the distance to be very important, because you could get some sprinters that are trying 1 mile and 16 for the first time, and it might, throw out their numbers a little different. Jockeys are important. Jockey trainer combo could be important. It depends on your point of view. The pace factor, is it important or not? I mean, you could change that. Trainer, depends who the trainer is. The track, where they're at, and then of course it throws in the angles, track conditions, and it will just readjust everything. But most time it doesn't adjust it like so much where it's changes the whole outcome.
Right.
I don't know why it's not downloading right now. It should have been done by now. It usually goes quicker than that. Made me look like an idiot now.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, that's good insights, because I was noticing as you had your screen up, some of the win percentages were a little bit different than what I was looking at. So, but yeah, that explains it. Just you
go in there and you play with it. Like for me, since I trained for 10 years, and let me tell you, and I know you've probably heard the story. Jockeys don't matter. Well, jockeys do matter to a certain point, I believe. When you're in this game doing nothing but stakes races, 9 times out of 10, you usually got some of the top 15 riders riding in these stakes races all the time. Is there a difference between their styles? A little bit, but not much. I mean,
Right.
like, okay, Sierra Leone, they're going from Tyler Gaffalione to Pratt, right? Do I personally believe that's a tremendous difference to the good? I don't think it's tremendously good to the good. I mean, it's good to change riders sometimes to get the horse to do a little different. But I don't think there's much of a difference for me personally between Pratt and Tyler Gaffalione because they're both excellent riders.
Yeah.
But when you're downgrading, so when you do this charts, you could say jockey's not that important. Trainers to me are way more important than jockeys, because once you learn how the trainer trains horses, like a Bob Baffert, he trains his horses hard overall, and he gets really solid, fast workouts. But then you go over to Belmont, and he you don't see very many super bullet workouts. So it doesn't mean one trainer is better than the other. It's just the way they train. And as long as you know that, I think trainer is very important, So yeah, on using on Racelands and use all those graphs, it does change some of the odds a little bit.
All right. Any parting thoughts on Friday's card before we wrap up here?
No, I think it's going to end very well. Like I said, all 4 race days are excellent. I think the Friday's card is very, very good. I do love English Rose that day. And I can't wait for the Belmont itself. And yeah, that's about it. The change of equipment on Sierra Leone is going to make it interesting. I mean, people say, you shouldn't change equipment, especially going into stakes races and stuff. I'm more scared when they change like blinkers because, horses, when they train, most of the time it's with only one horse. And when you do blinkers, they still don't have things coming from the outside or inside of them. And yeah, the blinkers work great in a workout with one other horse, but what about 10 others coming at him?
Right.
Big difference. The bit, if you work out with it and you could control a horse with it, it's going to work just fine in a race.
Yeah. All right. Always good to chop it up with you, Charles. Good luck with your pick 4 ticket on Friday and whatever else you're playing over the weekend. Tons and tons and tons of content on the Past the Wire TV YouTube page. There's an interview up with Todd Pletcher talking about his 3 horses in the Belmont and a smattering of other starters he has over the course of the entire weekend. There is an interview up with the coach, Dwayne Lucas, from the middle of the week as well, and tons of other handicapping insights covering every race on Thursday from Giosetti, covering the Belmont Stakes specifically. So uploading content left and right on the Past the Wire TV YouTube page. So continue to check it often and bet the Belmont Stakes with Amwager. Go to amwager.com for all of their latest promos and deposit bonuses. Charles, we'll check in with you again soon.
Yeah, I'll be covering the Belmont with Racelands, all the tools that it gives.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. And we'll check in with everybody else a little later.
All right. See ya.
You're watching Past the Wire TV.